Hi, I'm Valerie. I'm here to tell you 3 things about franchise forensics so you can decide if this is a good fit for you. First of all, what not to expect. And yeah, I know we're starting kind of backwards, but I want you to know what not to expect, and then what to expect. And then finally, the promise that I can make you based upon feedback from virtually all of my students. Number one, what not to expect. This is not a skills assessment or a franchise matchmaking course. I'm not going to ask you what you like to do or what you're good at and somehow try to match you up with a bunch of different franchises to consider. Candidly, there's a bunch of folks online that will do that for you for free. And not surprisingly, they all have a franchise they want to sell you that will perfectly match your skill set or what you like to do. So that's not what I'm going to do. Now, I do know that some of my students don't even know where to start. So I am going to help you get started in the right direction. If you don't even have any franchises that you're considering that you want to look at, I'll get you started in the right path. And then once you've narrowed it down to a handful of franchises, you can come back to my franchise forensic framework and apply that to figure out if those brands are viable. Also, in the what not to expect list, this isn't a motivational course or a course about mindset. Yes, it's important to have a solid mindset when you're thinking about starting a business, but I'm going to leave the mindset stuff to the career coaches. So what should you expect? Well, first of all, this is a hands-on how-to course. It's not hypothetical, it's not theoretical, and it's certainly not one of those courses where they explain overall concepts to you, but never actually teach you how to do what it is you came here to learn to do. You'll have a legitimate new skill when we're finished here because I apply my franchise framework to 3 different brands in 3 different scenarios. First of all, not only are they 3 different categories, but they're 3 different investment levels. One requires that you rent a retail building. The other one you can do from a hole in the wall, your own garage. The third one, you go to the client's place. My method can be applied to any franchise, but you'll see firsthand how it applies in these 3 different types of scenarios, and that's going to matter a lot as you start looking at potential brands to invest in. Okay, now onto the 2 things that I can promise you. First of all, even though this is a serious subject, we are not taking the bar exam here. This is not boring or dry. I beta tested this course before I ever launched it with a ton of different people to get their feedback, people I didn't know so they wouldn't be afraid of hurting my feelings, and I beta tested it with from waiters to welders to white collar workers, and I asked them 4 specific questions. The first question was, at any point in time, did I talk over your head? Were you confused? And the answer was consistently no. So that's cool. Second question I asked was, were you ever bored? And I also got solid no's on that one, specifically because the examples that I give to teach you this stuff are real world examples. So they're very practical and the stories make for some interesting listening. The third question that I asked is, what do you think is a fair price for this course? The most frequently occurring answer that I got was $250. And obviously I'm not selling this for anywhere near $250. So the fourth question that I asked at the end was, how did you feel? And the word that I heard over and over was, I feel confident. I feel confident that I can do this, and I feel excited. The second promise I can make you is that after taking this course, you're going to be able to spot a lousy franchise a mile away. At the time that I wrote this, there was a cookie company to the north of me, and a lot of franchisees lost a lot of money. And sadly, a lot of the initial franchisees, which is pretty common for up-and-coming brands, were actually friends of the franchisors. So when it all fell apart, not only did these folks lose a lot of money, but the friendships were destroyed. Now, I'm not going to victim shame anybody, but candidly, had any of these folks taken my course, they would have been able to spot the red flags in this cookie company a mile away. They would have seen them coming out of the woodwork, and they would have gone a different direction rather than where they are now, which is mired in a boatload of lawsuits. Look, I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to help you take your first step towards owning a franchise, but do it in a way that minimizes your risk as much as humanly possible. I started my own company in 2007 and then a second one in 2010, and they're both still going well, but I remember the fear when I started both of them, frankly, and I wasn't motivated by having a Porsche and 4 vacation homes, although I wouldn't turn down a vacation home in Aspen because I love the mountains, but I was motivated by autonomy. I didn't ever want to have to work for an asshole again. And I wanted to make enough money to where I wouldn't have to worry where my next meal is going to come from. I know the excitement that comes with starting a business, but I also know the angst and the fear. And that's why I'm here to help you do this in the safest way possible. So I hope to see you in class.